Hi everyone, it's Jasmine here and welcome back to my channel. So today is actually Jade's birthday, so I'm gonna be making her cake. And she told me she likes strawberry shortcake, but I'm gonna do something different. So I'm gonna do strawberry millefeuille. So it's basically layers of puff pastry, whipped cream, and strawberries. I think I'm gonna do 3 layers. Yeah, so I think I still have time because we're gonna have dinner tonight, and after that she's going to blow her cake. So yeah, join me as I make this cake. This is actually going to be my first time making a millefeuille, and I didn't have a clear idea from the start of how the cake would look like in the end. So well, I guess I have like a rough idea, but you know, I'm kind of winging it along the way. These are all you need for the recipe, and it's important to note that I use store-bought puff pastry. The first step is to wash these strawberries. I got these from Coles, and I'm just going to try to sort them based on sizes because it's just gonna make it easier for decorating later. So as you can see, I'm trying to figure out how I would decorate the cake, and I'm trying to look for strawberries that are similar in sizes, like in height. I'm thinking that I can put these on top of the cake, and I think I'm just gonna set them aside for now. So right now I'm just measuring the length and the width of my strawberries. This is just to help me figure out how big my puff pastry should be. It's also important to note that the puff pastry will shrink about an inch each side when it's cooked. Now I'm just going to use my fork to make little holes on the puff pastry so it doesn't rise too much. Now I'm going to sprinkle about a teaspoon of caster sugar or white sugar on the tray and also on top of the puff pastry. I'm also going to put a baking paper on top of the puff pastry because I'm going to put a tray on top of these just to keep it from rising. Now this will go into the oven for about 20 minutes at 180°C. I've just taken this out of the oven and it's looking absolutely beautiful. I like it golden brown, and now I'm just going to let it to cool for a little bit. While waiting for our puff pastries to cool down, I'm just going to prep my strawberries for filling. So I'm basically just slicing it lengthwise and making really not so thin slices. I'm also thinking to put a little bit of toasted flaked almonds on the sides of the cake. So I'm just going to toast this for a little bit until it has a little bit of brownish color but not burnt. This is looking ready, so I'm gonna set this aside. Now we're just gonna whip some thickened cream. I'm using 750 ml of thickened cream, and I'm just adding the powdered sugar to it. So this is going to turn into butter if you overmix it, so make sure that you're keeping an eye on it. So when you have this texture, you should absolutely stop. Now I'm going to get a piping bag and I'm just going to use this nozzle. So I'm just going to put all the whipped cream in the piping bag. Now it's time to trim our puff pastries and make sure that they're of the same size. I'm going to get my piping bag and I'm just going to start to pipe that whipped cream into the pastry. At this point, I still wasn't sure how this cake would look like at the end. Now we're going to put the slices of strawberries on top of that whipped cream. And then we're putting more cream on top of the strawberries. So we're just actually repeating this process on the second layer.
Ryan Little.
Now this is the moment of truth. We have reached the top and my hands are shaking. I still didn't know how this cake would look like. So I'm gonna smoothen the top with a spatula and then I'm thinking to put the strawberries on top. Now you can absolutely skip this step because I'm gonna get rid of these little blobs later anyway because they look ugly. Now using the whipped cream, I'm going to ice the sides of the cake. So it doesn't have to be really smooth because we're gonna put our flaked almonds on the sides anyway. Now you'll see me struggle with putting all these almond flakes on the sides of the cake. Now I'm going to smoothen out the edges and remove all that ugly blobs of icing. And at this point, I've decided to put more strawberries on top of the cake. So now I'm going to make a little bit of chocolate ganache. So I'm just melting chocolate and butter and putting that in the microwave for about 20 seconds, taking that out of the microwave and giving it a little bit of a stir and making sure the chocolate isn't burnt, and then putting back in the microwave again for another 15 to 20 seconds. And then after that, I have put about a tablespoon of full cream milk and give it a little bit of a stir until I have this consistency. So now I'm just gonna drizzle the ganache on top of the cake. And there you have it, guys. You have yourself a strawberry milfoil cake to enjoy and share with your family and friends. It's not as tidy as I'd like it to be, but I hope that you still enjoyed watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Now I'm just going to give this to Jade, and I really hope that she likes it. Until next time, guys. Bye.